I am glad to read the book with you. Horror Ghost Story of the Demon Mother. Late autumn, early winter. It's a good time for a grave for the dead. Someone who died has been dead for 3 years has come. A few days earlier, I saw you in the house packing. Call the grave pickers. Remember to be on time. I've always heard words like reburial. The sound is quite familiar. But let's see it for a second. I've never seen it. Inherently curious. Who likes to listen to horror stories? The soul of the dead. So this time, I asked the big guy in the house, let me go to the grave and say it with my you. My uncle turned it round. The grave for the dead. It's not a joke, considering that. But we also have to see how age fits. You can't just like it. It's cold like this at home. It's already 2 to 3 in the morning. You have to go when people come. I'm a little embarrassed to hear that. But the girl spoke up. The girl in the house. He is alive and loves it. If he wants to go, let him go. You keep making matters Let's important. See this after. If they die, their children want to die. Then it knows how to do it. It's not cool, but it's necessary. When do you come here to sleep? The boy scowled when he heard that. Yes, but wait for the phone to ask. You're not old enough to be a horse, are you? I nodded my head, waiting for the results from my uncle. Later, he said, okay, there's no sound. But remember to take the garlic bulb and or the bat that day. And nephew will get along. I think you should be in trouble. The girl said, yes, Theo, it is also good for you. It doesn't hurt. Since he died, he also told me how many times he dreamed about you. And you don't know how to eat. I scratched my head laughing. He was talking about my uncle Long. About 3 years ago. He died that year at the age of 45. It's called half alive. But you don't have a wife and kids. When you are alive, I love you. I don't know how many years you didn't get married. For not marrying and having children. Love is for you, especially me. What's good is you save it. Give me money so I love you. 1 year you were sick. An illness is probably normal. But then it took your life very quickly. I didn't even believe Mr. Long was dead. Your death is fast approaching. When people give your talent goes down to the grave, it's so fast. It's too sudden for me. It took you a week, and I don't even believe it's true. On the first day, relatives come into the house. Stories about you before you died. My grandmother broke down in tears when she heard them. But everyone says you're dead. It's like there's a charm that can't be cut. When the time comes to take him away, he must die. Is it a lame tale? More than that person. And you can only eat half a month. Whatever it takes to get 4 days later, I was afraid to run away. Suffering this guy I've been talking about going to see you and when he comes back, he goes crazy. One of them held her hand and said, when he was about to leave, he said the same thing. My wife came to pick me up. I love you even more when I hear those words. What the hell is the devil's charm? So evil. It's been over 3 years since I shot one. Was the day my uncle went to the sand. My uncle agreed to let me go with him. I'm both excited and scared. Horror movies watch a lot. But I've never seen a bone with my own eyes. That curiosity makes me eagerly wait until the day. That day has come. The team consisted of 5 men. He was there the night before. Everything is fully prepared, from the poncho hat. He red and yellow flower paper until Xiaoguo. So many things that I think about now. I can't remember it all either. It was a fake rain that day. At about 1 o'clock in the morning, it's all over. After the ferry is done at home, I'm with you in the house, and the team went where out my uncle is buried. It's a cold night. hot meat. A place without a but. It gives people goosebumps. Fortunately, there are many people come out here alone. After the ceremony is over, under the dim light, the grave takers watch at the good then time, start tossing the first shovels. Quiet space. There are only digging sounds. Howl through the planted eucalyptus trees. Light your hand, or it will break. The voice of one of the grave takers. Their way of working is very agile and professional. Back to look, but not too close. The coffin's lid was lifted. Even the sound of spikes hooked the coffin opened before the grave. One said in a rather startled voice, "Have you really buried 3 this Why year? Is the meat stuck to the bone like this? I've been doing this for 35 years. But I've never seen a case like that." Someone else panicked. "No way, meat. It's hard to stay in heaven like this." Someone in my house was stunned when he saw it. Some of the girls almost fainted. A boy asked, "Do you ever have to use burning straw?" The uncle, who said he was 35 years old, shouted, "Just don't burn the straw, man." "Get in my car. Get my lights in here. There's 4 of them. Take them all here." The fisherman rushed to get the lamp. And then he came back with 4 big lights. The uncle continued earlier. "This is a river lamp. It can't be done without this light. Are guilty. It's a crime to use alcohol or gasoline. Just leave it alone. I'll do it. Everybody stay away from here." Then he told everyone else, "Put Mr. Long's body on the lid of the coffin. Burning bamboo shoots around Mr. Long's body. Each one is 40 centimeters away." After that, he went back to tell his family, "Just light the lamp like this until the body decomposes. Then I got the bone." After that, he told his team, "You may have to prepare a knife. Where there is meat, use a knife. Some tarpaulin, some heads had to be prepared. When it comes out, do it now. Get it done before dawn, or you'll ruin everything. Fortunately, I have a plan, or I'm gay." When I was at home, I was curious to see it. But until people Mr. Long's body was placed on the lid of the coffin, I don't dare look anymore. It was not long after Mr. Long's body disintegrated. Now pulling wine. Carefully pick up each bone. Fold it into the red cloth. Has been brushed before. It's a horrible sight for the weak. There are bones left over from pieces of meat. Even if you look at it, you feel cold. But the grave takers, he's still holding a knife and scraping on each bone. Scrape away where the meat is stuck. They then carefully washed each bone through the wine and put it on another clean red cloth. I didn't dare to look anymore. Sis, it took almost 4 hours for everything to be done. After that was the first time. It was also the last time I went to the grave. Lunch that day. I can't even think about chopsticks to pick up something. Just look at the grave team. I see they're still eating well, wishing each other wine constantly. My uncle was there to thank them. Fortunately, my family has found a graveyard quite good. If today, in the hands of the poor, it must be a big problem. The captain's uncle laughed. This job is not something anyone can do. But this is actually the first time. It took me quite a while. Normally, it takes just over 2 hours. But today, I found a body with the same meat. It takes a little bit of time. The river lamp. Those lights are my treasure. I find the story interesting. I also ran over there and said, "I also want to thank the crew," I said. Today was the first time I went to see it. And I was scared. The alcoholic uncle patted me on the shoulder and said, "Young man is so weak. What's wrong with the grave of the dead? There are people who have been dead for years. Normal again." I can't believe that uncle is lying. Look at me. He's laughing. Point to the workers around. Look at your face, and you know you want to hear about the young man. You might as well piss your pants off after hearing that. The whole team laughed. It makes me pretty upset, I said. I will listen. No matter who died, it's absurd to be alive as usual. My uncle noticed that I seemed determined, so he stopped laughing. He said, "Okay, I'll tell you today. It's a story about the evil mother." The whole table was suddenly silent. Shakes his head slightly, signaling he doesn't want to talk about it in a serious and rather eerie tone. It's a story that happened about 25 years ago. That's when you first started following the master. Learning the worldly profession has this grave-grabbing profession. He was only 26, 27 years old. It's also useless. Once the family was looking for him. Go to the grave for your grandfather. I don't know how you look at your numbers. But after you pick him up, you'll finish your house. I told my parents the name of the grave collector. I just told you to this. No, or do you want to hear it? My parents replied, "Say what you want to teach. Our family, please listen." The master looked at his face from top gently to bottom. Stroked the long beard, pointed white silver thread. I look at your children a bit. It's a great fate for this job. So far, we've mostly done this alone. Women are also temporary. I am also over 60 years old everywhere without meeting someone who's lucky. I came here today to see that he had something. I don't know what you two are doing right now. My father replied, "I have no doubt that my son is almost 30 years old this year. There's still cotton work. My family has broken up with it too." The master stroked his beard and laughed. "So now I'd like to offer you this. Give it according to I also have a disciple. Grave. There is also a job for life. It's not a job that they can do. Maybe you don't understand, but sometimes it chooses people. So when I saw him, I know he has a thing for this." My mother was a little nervous, but these jobs have to deal with dead bodies. I'm afraid it's not good. I'm afraid of him. The ship's master replied, "Don't worry. You can do anything in this world as long as you don't rob people. You can't hurt others. I tell you. If you give him an apprenticeship, make sure that his life will be prosperous later. You'll only see when we're in contact with dead bodies. But you don't know. It's that we're helping the dead to feel comforted. The dead have a beautiful grave. And as I said before, it's only by grace. Since then, nature has been fearless. I hear you talking about a good life. Also quite interesting. 8 words to my parents. If you said you were lucky, then let me go. Follow the teacher. I don't think this is scary. Anyone who is afraid can do it. The train master looked at himself and laughed. I told you from the moment I first met him. He's fit for the job, especially when he watches me wash with fragrant meticulous care. I want to accept him as a disciple, and I hope you agree. For the first time I like guys who are really interested in a job. My parents are happy too. There are more explanations from the more comfortable you let yourself follow the apprentice to my family kept me for 3 days to receive and prepare the necessary furniture. It is indeed charming. The 2 teachers met for a few days, but talking very close. Then 3 days. Hello to my parents. Then go follow the apprentice. What you say is not wrong with other jobs that are pretty clumsy. But learning about feng shui. Watch the time to see the grave. Anything related to the dead. Everyone learns very quickly. Follow me for 5 years. I could have taken care of all the work yourself. From the most difficult details. Not only that, the ship's master is not simply a grave catcher. You know how to watch the general. Sometimes I even see you doing magic that asks for a large amount of money yourself. Every time he wanted to learn, he said, "Dandruff is a bad thing." And not even I can do that. I told you the other day, I have a talent for graveyard work. Other than that, I can't guarantee. Learn well what I have taught you. You will understand later. I didn't dare to ask you to say that. Seeing a dead body but not afraid. But every time he made a curse by cutting his own blood and then mix it with some black water and use a pen. Write things on red paper is to feel shiver. It's not the fear of blood. It's more or less what you do. There is also a little bit of every time I see you do that, I'm all vaguely seeing something spooky. And every time I cast a spell, get old and look, and I know what you're saying is true. Charms are not good. Abusing it will transport it all to the user himself. I admire you more and more. From there, every time I knew you were casting a spell to do the job and take good care of you. The ship knows that too. Sometimes I can laugh and say, it is true that my life does not look at the wrong person. I'm dying. I have a good disciple. Not free. Pour tea for me and complain. Don't say that. You are so healthy that you are about to die. But as you say, the charm is not so good. Why do you still do it? Your health too much. The train driver looked at himself and said, yes, every person's life has a mission. You know I have no children. I'm a grave digger. There is no shortage of money. But I still have a debt to repay. The train's face was a little sad. I dare not ask anymore. I know most of the money you make. They all sent it to the temple. Then go to work. I also know that you are the original. Most of my time is in Vietnam. I never saw you mention your wife or loved ones on board. I only know that you go everywhere to pick up graves. I'm almost 70 this year. It's charming. So from the day I followed you, I've only been home a few times. I mainly send money back to my parents. The master of the ship was a man who had a reputation for digging graves. The grave only has time, but the master also knows how to see feng shui. So everywhere I go, almost everyone comes to follow the master who has learned the grave grabbing. Everyone knows. 1 by 2 teachers and students go to a village that looks there also had earth wall Every house has a vegetable garden, a fish pond, a chicken farm. Was also around the time students were invited to the grave family in the village. Work is nothing. Since then, the 2 teachers have worked very well, complete and neat in the most perfect way. Where are you going? 2 teachers. They are all very well liked by the owner. They usually invite both of you to stay for a few days. Very well. Since the day I followed you, see the life of a grave raiser. It's not as scary as people think. I was sleeping that night. Suddenly, I saw the master opening the window and looking out it was into 12 o'clock garden in the evening. Why did you go to bed? He put his hand to his mouth and said, "Don't make noise. I don't feel good." I saw the moon in my face. It at that moment made me scream out of fear. Skinny face, my master's long white hair. It was no different than the devil. Suddenly I closed the window. Go back to bed. He said to himself, maybe we should stay here a while longer. I can't believe this evil also appeared in Vietnam. You have to pay attention to the road. I don't see the devil wanting to hurt you. But that was the devil. It's often not good to appear on earth. I don't understand what you're talking about. Looking at him, he continued. You go to bed now. If you hear any noise outside, don't open the door or open your eyes. Obedience to go to bed. But that night, after listening Private can't sleep. Too late. Unconsciously, I hear the rustle on the shore of the rooster behind the 2 students were sleeping. That rustling sound is clear every now there's and then. AI coming through the rooster. Or stealing. The village is poor, so few houses have brick walls. Is also understandable. So I got up and went to the window. From the hole opening, suddenly pulled back. I turned around and realized it was the ship. I haven't slept yet. Master pulled back, but the hand still clasped the collar of silence. Don't say a word. My hand was as solid as ice, as cold as ice. Another cold face without half a word. I'm so scared of chicken skin. After a while, the master let go and said, I told you not to look. Why didn't you listen to me? From faltering, I was afraid to steal it into your room with me. Master Ship sighed. He coughed up a howl that was very biting. Both of them were in bed, but could not sleep, worried about not knowing what's going on. The next morning, the owner knocked on the door and called the two teachers and students to get up for blinking season. The sky is still a little foggy right now. The master opened the door and went out. He looked around the garden, around and into the house. Breakfast is over. The master came to the owner, who was making tea. The owner invited the master to sit down and asked the owner, pour more fragrant tea. Let out a soft white smoke. The honorable owner hands handed the cup to the master and smiled. Invite me to tea. This tea is tea. The people in Xinjiang brought it all the way here. The master saw the owner enthusiastically. He held the cup of tea to his mouth. Close your eyes and take a slow breath. Take a sip to enjoy. Of course it is not good, the master said. Thank you for hosting our two teachers and the students. It's not just good food. Even morning tea smells like that. I saw my teacher say that. Take a cup and breathe. My tongue is so hot that it doesn't taste good. I see only one taste at the tip of my tongue. But you have to recognize the smell that comes out of the tea. Feel comfortable. Look at how you drink tea. Both the master and the owner laugh. It's just that they don't know what they're laughing at. The ship returned to the story. Fragrant tea. Delicious food, open view. But there's still a smell that I don't feel right about. The owner asked hastily, Sir, what is that smell? Just tell me, you'll have someone clean up. The master looked at the owner and said, the smell of dead bodies for a long time. The owner was in a hurry to call his wife. Let's get the exam maids up here. Come on. Immediately, his wife and a 16-year-old girl run up. In front of everyone, the owner asked his wife, what kind of cleaning? Well, let me smell what a stench is. Look carefully at the corner of the table. Is it under the bed or a cat? Under the cabinet? Which mouse it was where it died? Hurry up your leg. The owner's wife said, why does it smell bad? I don't ask her to clean every morning. Not since the day I came back. My house is still burning incense. I look at the ship thinking, why does it smell bad? No one sees it. Just as the owner's wife said, from the grave to the owner, people light incense every day. The private sector also felt the air was very pleasant and warm. His tea and told the owner, the wrong taste is wrong. It's not the smell of the meat or a dead mouse. It's the smell of death gas, the smell of human corpses. I was shocked to see my master say that. Not just private. But the owner's wife is also gaping, and the maid's been looking under the table. To find the stink that the boss said, the owner stuttered. What do you mean by that? His wife also asked me what I meant. Someone in my house died a long time ago without knowing it. Dropped his whiskers. I just said there's a smell. I have been dead since I woke up in the morning. Went from the front garden to the upper house. The smell of death is just around the corner. Originate in this house. I can tell you that you brought the dead home. Or the body. Dead man got into your house. That's why the smell of death lingers in this place. The owner's wife is a believer. That's not how hard they work. No money to invite the shipmaster here to pick up the grave in the family. The ship's master's reputation was hurt a lot. When the two teachers came, both spouses are very respectful, watching the way he washed each bone very subtly, light but neat. Every hour, the more they make their spouses respect. I heard you say there is a smell in the husband house. And the wife are 7. The husband turned to his wife and asked, "Have you been to a vegetarian funeral or go to the cemetery or something? Is anyone dead?" The wife replied, "I haven't been to a funeral all month. If you go, yes." The master said softly, "This is not Theo's soul. It's a dead body still on earth." It's been so hard to understand. I asked the master, "Why can dead bodies stay on earth, master? I thought only the dead. The soul is forever attached to the physical who harm people, and Theo's corpse can be kept here." Two husband and wife. When the owner heard the question, it made sense. The master signaled to close all the main windows. When finished, he looked at the explanation. "Have you ever heard of a diamond?" I remember hearing the master say it once. "Is it some kind of dead person who's been cast into a demon?" They hurt people, right? The ship's master nodded. "That's right. It's basically a walking corpse. It only works when there is no sun. It kills the living creatures eating sucks in the life force that keeps us alive." From next question, "So the teacher here is also a diamond?" The ship replied, "I'm not sure about. Anodharma was transmitted 700 years ago. Now wants to find a driver. It is also difficult to find the stars in the sky. There are 2 types of horses. A kind of enchanted by a false master. The enchanters do the things they have to do. 2 is the kind of unstoppable soul. Maybe they died suddenly, not knowing that you are dead. Or they still have something very heartwarming. Maybe what they're afraid of is still unanswered. It should be trying to save the world. The one who is under the spell of the wrong. But maybe those corpses are inanimate, are kept alive by the charms whenever they need it, by casting a spell. The second is that they are against God, trying to preserve a body that didn't belong to the human race. They're going to suck life out of living things. What's hard to see is that it's daytime. They're all in the house, rarely outside. It's only when it gets dark that they show up. So few people can tell the difference. And not everyone can see it. Think for a moment and nod. But as the master said, this vantage point is no longer available. There is only the second type. But so far, I've never heard of this kind of evil. He looked at the 2 owners and said, "In Vietnam, there is no diamond. They call these corpses demonic possession. I've only heard of it, but I've never met it. One thing I'm sure of, it's the home of 2 people who've had demonic possession." The words. The ship's master said that there is indeed a tradition in the world, but never met. It is still vague to say that. But when Master mentioned the demon possessed him, I suddenly remembered a ghost story. But he beggars or sits at the top of the village. I used to write when I was a kid. Who has a pretty good memory? So until now, I still remember those stories as they were. Unconsciously ask you, Master is the devil. Is it related to a black cat? The captain opened his eyes wide because he asked such a question. It's true that in Vietnam, when it comes to demonic possession, talk about cats. It's a black cat. Cobras caught on the occasion of Doa No Cat in the year. People often call it the lynx because it lived in long-tailed rafters. Their ears are longer than normal cats. The worst thing is when someone dies, that the lynx jumps over the coffin. Then that person will rise again because people rumor the lynx can open the door of the Middle Kingdom. So when it jumps over, it pulls the souls of the dead. But that's just a legend. After all, even if it's a cat, by enchantment or by the spirit and the physical realm who died trying to stay on earth, all contrary to heaven, there will be no happy ending. Not self-harm, super difficult. They're also harming their own families. Every house that has death gas will gradually perish, leading to Tai Chi. The householder and his wife hurriedly knelt down and bowed their hands to the master. Our family. My husband used to live well with everyone. I always go to the temple and do nothing wrong. I hope you help me. The train driver picked up the couple and said, "Don't worry, both of you. Your family only smells of death. I'm going to help you solve this. Because we've been here for a few days, and you've been doing very well. Treat guests with respect. More look at the way neighbors come to help with the family's work. We also know that they are very popular around here. Disasters sometimes come suddenly. Everything in the world has its own meaning. Life and death are also born. If there is fire, there will be a solution. Don't worry. I'll help you clean the house. But it's only a temporary way, because if we go right to enter, you can go back. Don't know, then it will be the same. So I've got something to ask you. The householder and his wife hurriedly spoke. What's wrong? Just ask the two of us. We will do our best. The chef said to me, Tao Herkia doesn't need 6 stinky tubs anymore. The owner told her to go to the kitchen and prepare lunch. In the silent air, the master asked, I want to stay here for a while. Then I'd like to ask you two in this village. Some people thought they were dead and then come back to life. The dead can live again. It sounds like it's happening in this village. It must be very famous. If something like that happens to a villager, it's bad news. But when you hear this question, the couple looked at each other and shook their heads. Sir, my husband and I are over 40 years old this year. My father is the original here. I'm over 25 years old as a bride. But I've never seen anything human and alive again. If so, we certainly knew. This village is small. Which dog died yesterday? Today, people are still in the market. It's about the dead coming back to life. The ship's master thought. Think for a moment, and then ask again. So, in this village, there's been a recent loss of chickens. Dog, or was someone killed? The husband replied, No, sir. Our village used to live very peacefully. But not every citizen. The village lives well together. Even the villagers are here with us. We are treated like villagers. No one steals a chicken or a duck. Master also felt that this was a bit difficult. Small village, but what happens in the village? Everything is transferred. Now I remember what happened last night. When there's Rosalind behind the garden, I wanted to open the door. Whether he was a thief or not, the master stopped him. Before that, I see master's actions are quite mysterious. I turned my ear to the master. Was it last night? The master softly raised his hand to the sign of let me teacher is both parents say they don't know. But there's something about this house. Obsession is the truth. One is a couple who knows something. Or two, they don't know anything at all. If you let yourself say it now. Last night, a stranger came to visit from behind the garden. I'm afraid it won't be good. If they don't know what's going on, they knew they were hiding it? Both students will be in danger. That's why the train stopped him. Up at home, thinking in the still air. There's something stuffy in the space. It's hard to breathe. The devil entered him by the master ship. In the back garden kitchen, there are people screaming in terror. Grandparents, come down here. The maid's voice screamed 7 bars. The owner got up and ran right down. He was stopped by the master of the ship. Slowly, there was no need to panic. Just let them see something. Wait for everyone to run to the kitchen. Stand up and come down to see what's going on. And the maid screams like that. Go to the back garden. I saw her husband and wife helping her. I'm standing in a vegetable patch, a little way from the chicken coop. It's just something that's lying on the ground. I saw the robber coming down. My husband ran out of his face and said, Sir, my house really has a bad spot. Come here and look. 2 students closer to home. I was startled when I saw that I was lying in the dry mud. On the vegetable bed crumbled of a roasted chicken. Only one part of the stomach remains. Chicken feathers are still covered in blood. I sat and looked at the chicken for 5 minutes. He pressed his finger on the ground where the chicken lay and put it on your face. The land where his fingers are black, completely different from color. The surrounding land. The driver stood up and looked at the owner and said, There's no doubt about it. There must be demons in this village. Last night he snuck here, eating your raw chicken. But I don't understand why it didn't eat it all. And that's why I'm here this morning. When I woke up, I smelled death gas. Look at the teacher. Take a good look. The land where the devil entered, he said, is usually worse than other places because they themselves are dead bodies, is already rotting. But by the persistence of the human, so the air is very heavy. Plus the smell of gases that come out make the places they touch will smell bad in the middle. I looked at the chicken, though I ate it last night. But until now, you're starting to get good at it. Now light a fire and burn his body. Then use the wine bottle. Pour it on the ground where the chicken is and shovel that dirt and pour it out of the house. In front of you, do as I say. Sheety, the maid, looked so scared she stammered. Before I'm going to go into the chicken coop and not make dinner, by, the chicken must be scared. The householder and his wife looked at the bridge master. I predict as I wish, please. How much money do I lose? The train master told everyone to be quiet. Around here, the forest let clear. Yourself do the rest of the ship. Let everyone go up to the top. I saw the scared face of the owner with her maid. The ship's master knew that nobody knows anything about this story. To the problem, the ship master said, "Before I came here, has this ever happened to your family?" The landlord's wife replied, "Sir, my family has never seen anything like this. Like I said, the neighborhood around here, living together is meaningful. There's no AI stealing anything from the AI. You see, my house has its own, but the fence is only temporary because I've never stolen anything." It was also near noon. The ship knows what else to ask. The two owners probably don't know. It's no wonder. They're just normal people. You can tell the difference between the devil. The captain stood up and said, "Now, please let me think of a way. You two have been eating here for a few days. I'm also responsible for this. You'll have to remember when you're on the road. Don't talk about this to anyone. Let's just pretend that nothing happened. But I advise you to stay out of the way. According to the corpse of the chicken, I think it won't be long. This village will suffer." Two, husband and wife, both nodding. The train master sighed and went into the room. I have also done the work of the teacher. I went into the room and saw the master sitting. It makes your face wrinkle and ask about it. The devil makes you think so much. And the master of the ship heard his voice and answered, "Have you finished everything?" Those two chickens were a sign of impending disaster. Private inquiry replied, "Why do you two see only one?" The shipmaster explained, "Where the dead chicken has two different feathers, it can't be just one thing. It's one that's been eaten to the point where there's no bones I'm left. Sure he was getting old last night. If you see the noise, leave. Remember when I stopped you from opening the door? That's when it happened. As far as we know, dead bodies stay on Earth sucking blood or taking the positive part of a living organism. Paradoxical life. But when I saw the chicken, it was eating more than half. We know that animal oxygen is not enough for it to absorb. There's only a few days left. It's going to find organisms with stronger oxygen. And that's the disaster. I heard Master say that. Of course, from understanding what the Master is talking about. You are human, right? The Master nodded and replied, "It's not just people, it's children. Children often have the strongest oxygen, thinking without evil thoughts. That's what the devil is always after. Disaster is about to happen in this village. Hurry to say, Master. Can you help them avoid this disaster?" The train master looked at himself and smiled. "You are a kind person. I want to help them too. The devil is like the devil. Although there are records of them, but we've never seen. Even my master only knows and learns through that. This is a kind of magic, the opposite of moral morality. So my master doesn't want his students to learn. And then we lose our human nature. So what we know about this kind of evil, it's only in theory. Not to mention our teachers are just people from other places. There is no topography of this place. It's hard to find it overnight. The army entered him. People don't come out in the morning. How can you subtract it? Where hundreds of thousands of people are here. silently listening to the master continue. And one more thing we know. The devil can't exorcise the usual ghosts. We are also considering we're going to go around here and see if we find anything. The worse it gets. I once heard my master tell a story. It was a long time ago about a medical examiner. When the cover is finished, I don't understand what spell itself is how the antelope killed Enchantress. It's a disaster for an entire village. I asked my teacher how the fire was going. He closed his eyes and answered in a trembling voice. 20 children in the village before disappearing. I can't say it's gone. My master said it. If you take in enough oxygen, that demon can turn into a normal person. But inside is the devil's and continue to live to do evil. Those are the reasons why, after the death of 20 children, just a short time later, the people in the village also disappeared. It's just writing, but the truth is that the teachers, they were all found dead. What to do with the diamond? It's only in legend. Looking at the ship continues. The devil enters the guy, and the diamond is basically the same on purpose. And they know exactly what they need. What do you want from humanity? It's not like ghosts. There's only a little soul left. Wandering aimlessly, the ghost can only cling to the haunts, the air to the sky. But the demons enter the rectum. You can kill someone directly. In every way. The possessed demon is a more terrifying type of demon than the ghost. A lot of noise, because they're people who are dead, but still alive. Stroking the silver beard, he looked out the window and said, I can't believe my age. I see a kind of baby again. Vietnam's European competition is probably also the God blessed in the world, blessed in the world. God is good at playing with people. The master's laughter echoed with delight. But look at the master's face. I know you're laughing to hide your sadness, or it's something very secretive. I don't want anyone to know. Devil enters sky. Maybe in this world there is such a scary devil. The train driver suddenly stopped laughing himself and whispered, Let's go to the bathroom. There is dust in the garden. I'll cook some lemongrass leaves. Remember to add some salt to the pot of water. Finished after the shower. Follow me around this village. Let's see what the situation is. This is just rice balls, not salty. Fake it and do as you say. How to use salt to clean air. That's how people who specialize in magic. Although everyone uses exorcism salt for everywhere. But according to the ancient Chinese, salt has extremely useful anti-aeration cleaning properties. In Vietnam, people also use salt front along the road for the purpose of banishing the devil. I've heard the shipmaster say, when salt is combined with increases the ability to purify bad air. Both master and master have been in contact with the body. So it's easy to understand that the boatmaster has a bath kettle. After taking a shower, host prepared for 2 teachers and students. The sesame master put out his hand and messed up something. When I finished, I said to myself, it is true that our students started out. The clock is ticking at 12 noon. The train master and private quietly opened the door. Today's weather outside is approaching. The sky is sunny. The sun's rays were not as bright as the summer, but it still makes the air cold. The winter's retirement is somewhat less than what the master said. Because it's late winter and early spring, the weather is murky. There is rarely a sunny day. Why did I tell you to leave at this hour? It is the time when the sun rises during the day, even though the sun's not hot, but the demons are retreating in the moment. According to the ancients, then this is the time for patrolling. We're leaving at this hour to easily escape the clutches of the devil. From the slot, ask you. But whether to go at this hour, we make Saul be able to detect when you say the devil will not come out during the day. The shipmaster explained, the goal of my students today is to visit, review the situation. We can't sit at home to know what's going on outside, more than my own. You can also feel a gas. If we get close to the demon that's hiding, it's hard, but for us, that's an advantage. Because the devil can't go anywhere at this hour. We can feel it if we're lucky. I said that, but there's no clue. The two men walked around the village, but still didn't find anything. It is located between the upper and the lower villages. Two of them went to an old woman's bar. Maybe he's been selling there for 15 years. Pour 2 cups of water. Invite 2 old ladies who are not here to ask. You two are looking for relatives here. If you don't know, I'll help you. The ship's master pretended to cough and tell the water lady, "Thank you very much. Our 2 grandkids aren't really from here. Looking for an acquaintance's house without knowing where it is. Wandering around this village all afternoon. Ask if anyone knows." The water lady asked, "What village is your acquaintance in? Upper or lower village?" The boatmaster sipped the water and said in the village to bring her down. The water saleswoman took the fan and chased the flies away and covered your eye. The village where he went looking for her. The village said, "I can't see it. Here, from this angle to the right, the way you just went out." That's the upper village. On the left is the village. Did you have to come here early to show me Chong? So what's your acquaintance's name? The master pretended not to remember what he said. My mind has not been clear lately. All I know is that a distant relative has died, so the 2 of you came to visit today. The word means the end. The woman thought for a moment and said, "There is no new AI in this village. I'll show you the way. Let's find you in there. I told you to keep the villagers are talking to each other. There are thieves in the village. 2 other people arrive. If there is anything of value, be careful. But we just got a lead on the interrogator. Why do I see people who live here say that the people here are very kind? Lose anything," the water lady whispered. "So now the rumors are all over the place. Each other. So you're a stranger in the village. Be careful, or they will think you are stealing." The ship replied, "I'm about to die, and I can't steal. You lost something or money, Dad?" The water lady continued, "Our people are poor. Money doesn't always go with the gut. There is nothing to steal. This is a chicken, a dog, a duck. The young man steal it and sell it for drinking money." Strangely, this whole village who also said that the chicken was stolen without a like a ghost. You can't catch it by any means. We have been in the village for a few days. I'm the only one sitting here, so I know everything. 2 people came from the village to drink water. Just sat down. Someone said, "He came into my house 2 days ago, lost a 14-pound dog. Without barking for an hour, I woke up with a little blood in the yard." The Kia replied, 2 weeks ago, my 20 chickens broke their necks and lost 3. What's strange is that the chickens have their necks broken, but the meat is grayish. If you can't eat, look at it. The woman poured water and invited the 2 men to speak. "You 2 are in the village. The old man is looking for an acquaintance. You let your 2 cousins into the village. I can't find a place to sleep tonight." The 2 men looked at the teacher from head to toe and said to go into the village. "If you ask, just tell me that the man from Van's house is a fake." I forgot to say hello to a guy named Ben. The captain thanked the water with 2 men and stood up. "Let's go! Hurry up, or it'll be dark again." From helping then they both walked down the road to the village. Out of the water of the banyan floating fountain, the master said softly, "So there's a little clue. It's exactly as I expected. Has been in one of these 2 villages for quite some time. Chicken and duck at home. When they are no more, they go out and steal from the people. The village revives, the more it needs a source of oxygen gas. At first, it just sucked the life out of animals. But at this point, it has to eat carcasses of animals. Soon it will find humans. I wonder why they didn't catch it." The ship replied, "You're stupid. Whatever it is, it's the devil. It's not ordinary people. Even we can't guarantee anything, catch it, let alone a human. That's why I stopped you from opening the door last night. If you see it eating raw meat, it will attack you too. It's gone because we have a habit. Every time I go to bed, I put a charm on the window. Whether it's the devil or the spirit, they're all a little bit reserved for spells. It's like we don't know what it is. I dare not do anything. Since leaving the owner's house, the students also walked for about 2 hours. The afternoon sun is getting weaker and weaker. Both teachers and students into every corner of the village. But the results are still nothing. Just as the master said at the beginning, looking for this is no different than looking for the bottom of the tank. That's right. It's 5 p.m. The fatigue was evident on his face. All afternoon today, follow me throughout both villages. I am tired, he said. Let's go home. I first caught a few today. Clues are not wasted. Going on like this is not a good way. Go back to the owner's house first. We also have something to discuss with them. Obedience to the two. Return together. Go back to the owner's wife's house. Go out to the walk into the house, and the wife said, "Give me too much water." After that, invite the two of you to wash your face and eat. The boatmaster asked the host couple, "Your family has a small child, right?" The wife replied, "That's right, sir. My husband and I are old but childless. Also go to the bridge. How many years to give birth to a granddaughter? The couple are over 40. I'm only 8 years old this year. What's going on, master?" He looked around the house and said, "I love you both, so I say this. You two should leave me at home tomorrow. Let me go outside. That's all I'm saying. Can't say anything more. I'll find a way to help your family in the morning." The owner and his wife bowed to the master and thanked him. After dinner, I asked my master, "Is it around here, master?" The ship replied, "I don't know either. But it came here last night. Besides, this house has children. Except for the possibility that tonight, it will come back. I need to pay attention. Now I'm bringing all these charms to the doors in the house, window, and the front door. You need to tie it up. Hurry to work, as you say." The darkness gradually enveloped. When he found out that the house had demons, he came Feel by. The air around you. The house has something visibly changed. For fear of the part, I realized that master had something very strange. The master came to the house with the work of a grave razor. According to you, over the years, it's not that simple. Especially this time. Apparently, the train master said demonic possession was terrible. Is excited to face this danger. Not only that, it seems, the ship's master's eyes were filled with chills every time I mention the devil. Unconsciously nervous because of a fleeting thought. The master's body for private. How many years? It's still a mystery. The excitement of the ship. For a demon to enter that scares the mind. No, I realize I don't know anything about the honorable master. In the moment I saw the master in a dark cellar, there's only a dim candle. The master is holding a bright red blood put into the body of a man in a coffin. Suddenly the body opened its eyes out of panic. I can't. The train master came forward and held out his hand. Everything but he suddenly stepped back. Two of them are still in the house of the owner. Sweating posture, asked the train master. I've been sick all day. Take a nap so I can watch you. From wiping away the dripping sweat, Ross, why don't you just let me? Breathing is so turning quadrangle. With just an illusion. How can a good person you like can do that again? The insects outside the vegetable garden are sometimes buzzing, mixed with the noise of the mouse pen. The night falls and it's eerie silent. Now, if there's a demon in there, maybe he shows up. I can't walk. My legs that have been stiff at the table drinking water. The master was reading a book under an oil lamp. Full of words. I don't know what book it is. At night, the master of the ship shuffled his long hair. He smiled under the oil lamp. Something cool. He looked at the master and was afraid to breathe. It was no different than a ghost with white hair. Suddenly, I was startled because it looks like something just crashed against the window. Cats crawl at night like babies cry. Space landscape. All of these things are making the posture extremely uneasy. Even though all day walking around the village was exhausting. In front of that scary scene, when I'm sleepy, I can't close my eyes. At night, the space becomes quiet. The garden, the insects are still constantly moaning fake. You can hear the sound of your own mouth. He stared at the table where Master was reading. I was startled because the train turned its head. Skinny face. Her hair was white. The gate of the Master's ghost. Let me not escape from the spirit of the Master of the ship until the full moon. Maybe in a few days he won't appear in here. I've recorded a lot of interesting things about horses. I told him to ask the Master. What book is that, sir? Said the Master quietly. This is a book about spells. It's been around for hundreds of years. It doesn't record how to cast a spell, though. But it says a glimpse of the manifestations of these kinds of ancient times. The ghosts. The demons that humans have probably heard of once. But it's never been seen. Because everyone I've ever met is dead. Because it's so mysterious. Sometimes people think they're not real. Books only talk about horses. It is the right of the book. It's right here. I'm not sure either. What is this devil after all? Most of my life has been in Vietnam. I don't know how many graves, how many human skeletons are washed. Seeing the body. I have never seen the resurrection of the dead. I saw that the Master seemed to be worried. I have a question. I have not known for a long time whether to ask you. The Trainmaster looked at himself and nodded. If you have anything to ask, said, I am old this year. I've been following you for over 5 years. But I've never seen you mention your wife. I ask this if there is any offense. The train driver showed a little sadness on his face. He thought for a moment and then replied, Maybe we don't have long to live. You are like your own son to me. It is true that my life lived I have also experienced countless events. Right. I'll tell you about it tonight that we've been through for the rest of my life. And that's why we never mention our wives or children. Because they're dead. From White Eyes, surprised mouth gaping for what happened to my master. Master stroked the silver beard. Let's start with a story from 45 years ago. I was about as old as I am now. By the border to Vietnam. To buy precious medicinal plants. Like ginseng mok 037 reishi mushroom forest. The Master's master was a hidden shaman in the mountains for a long time. He was familiar with wormwood spells to save the ship's master by him on a trip down the mountain. For the rich man in the village. Treatment. After passing through the market, he saw the Master sitting in a corner of the 7-minute market. Legs. Skinny sitting there with 8 batches of waiting for people to pass by for the change. The Magi are honest. Put money in 8 for the baby. But look into the baby's eyes. Because the Taoist saw it as a rare ability. Something in this baby's eyes. Standing next to the priest. Those eyes are not directed towards staring at his leg. From asking the Master, so what were you looking at? The ship replied, I see a little girl clinging to her feet. A wise man. But when he sees time, I thought the boy was with the Magi. It seems around there. Only we see this. That's why we stare at it. Then the wise man asked, What are you looking at? The child replied, Just look at me. The priest looked next to him. Then he looked at the ship and whispered, Do you see it? The Master nodded and held out his hand to help the Master. Follow me. In life, there will be something to wear. Maybe this is fate. The one who sees me wants to lead me. I can't believe you can see ghosts. What you see is not human. It's the ghost of a child. He drowned in the river 3 years ago. Because nobody was found. Has no place to go. Always have to roam the nearby river. Today, we are going through the mountain. He has a job that he wants to do for his soul. I'm taking him up the mountain to celebrate. I can't believe you can see it too. God, Rent. It's not just for us to be superhuman. It also helps us to meet people who are fortunate to be my disciple. Although the master didn't understand much of what the Magi said, heard that there was food and clothing. The master agreed. Then the master of the ship followed the shaman up the mountain to help you make medicines for those who come for help. Master Theo came to Vietnam at that time. The master also learned the craft of making spells. To love those precious medicinal plants more than gold. Can't be found anywhere. Two teachers and students go trekking through the forest, a minority in the northern part of Vietnam, and buy precious medicine. How did heaven fall to the ground? Before going to Vietnam, master had been very careful about some kind of ethnic minority Vietnam and Christianity. The doctor also emphasized to be careful with love spells. Warned the master that paint domain girls is a beauty that attracts men. If they like AI that uses love spells, a lock of hair, a picture, or even the enemy's clothes, they will also ask the magician to make him fall in love and live again. And the spell only ends when one of you dies. Who gives up in the middle will suffer unintended consequences. That's what the master told me. But in the end, I have to love, or because the master himself couldn't resist of ethnic girls, and I fell in love with an extremely beautiful girl in you. Ignore all the master's words. The train master accepts to stay with you to marry that ethnic girl. I can't wait to hear from master. So they have to spare her love, right? The master smiled and said, "It never happened. My master thought the same as you. You think we're enchanted by the natives. But you didn't find anything, even though he was a gypsy monk. If you compare it to the mountain shaman, my master is on a level. But we're not bewitched. That girl and I really loved each other. That's why I can do the magic." Finally, my master also understands and accepts. Master has told me one thing, but will never understand. Sorry, it's too late. What is the morning fever asking you? The master closed the book and looked at himself. Before you left, you told me that the rest of your life will be lost across this land to regain peace. Finish the sentence. Slowly shake your head and turn your back at my face for the last time. The story of the shipmaster is increasingly private, but if what you say is true, you can see the future of the ship many years later, as well as until now. For the past 5 years, I've been following my apprentice Marco. You two have to go everywhere. To the lands, from the cities to the countryside, from the mountains to the plains, and all the money that's made by grave diggers. Wash the bones of the dead. All the merit in the temple there. What did the ship do to make life this way? Late at night, the city oil lamp seems to be weakening because the oil is running low right now. I feel that my master is miserable. From a young age, she was raised. Finally, at the age of 70, to roam throughout the country of Vietnam. The ship continued. Look, because the priest is gone, knelt down and gave thanks. You've been raising me over the years. Then he happily returned to the village with the beautiful girl from a previous life. The language disagrees, but the two of them love each other very happily. More tips learned from the master. The ship helped a lot of people in the village. Vietnam, in those years, it's true that people step on medicinal plants without knowing it, and learned from a master of the high tea. So the master quickly win hearts of all the people in the village. Exorcism cure. Make a peace charm for the villagers. Go up and escape from the forest. The ship's master's life was extremely
And then
fulfilling.
the
ultimate happiness of
wedding
seeing
ceremony
you
for
butcher
the talented
couple. Our reputation has a
Not
status,
just in the book,
but around it. All the boatmen heard the name of
and
the
they
master.
don't mind the remote roads
To find Master Cho. There was nothing happier in life than
when just a year
my
later,
beautiful wife has
if
fallen.
a daughter
Once again, the whole village
calls
was
to
operating
celebrate.
for the master's family of 3. Live in a peaceful and happy
Filled
life. With laughter. Filled with such praise. The twin master forgot to show the words of the master
Until
last
one
year.
day
Disaster strikes. When I came here, I saw my master's face
Master
suddenly
Long's
twinkle.
eyes
on the casino.
Her
eyebrows fluttered softly.
Seemed
to recall the stories of
Make
the
the
sorrowful
shipmaster
past. Feel hurt and hurriedly
The
say,
past is over.
You shouldn't repeat it, sir. I'm sorry to send you back your sad story.
When the
train master heard that, his face widened. He grinned and said, identity. I've gotten used to this over the years.
Even if you
don't ask, I always dream of them. Every time that sign, it feels like it just happened in front of you. For 15 years, I have kept it to myself. You are with me now.
He's
also somewhat relieved of I'll
the
tell
torment.
you everything. Let me also know that the world is broken sometimes. More evil than the devil. Silently listen to the master. It was a summer day. The train master remembered it was about 12
noon.
sitting in the
Was
house. Preparation for a young
The
man
forest
at
was
the table by a poisonous tree. Then he
in the
couldn't
leg
walk
ulcer.
on his own. I
Arm.
had to ask for a young man to carry
The
me.
shipmaster's
wife was breastfeeding in the house. He's trying to cure the young man. Suddenly, the ship stood up. The shipmaster didn't remember
only
what
know
he
that
had
the
done.
train
master is
beautiful
awake
wife
again.
is lying
Mango
on the floor.
on a pool of blood. The ship is afraid to fall back. Realize in your wife's hands. I'm still hugging my baby. Look down at your hands. The master saw the sharp knife full of still dripping down every drop on the floor. Scream in terror. The boatman turned over the body of
even
Ross'
more
wife. Terrifying than the first
My
part. beautiful wife was bombed in the
Can
face.
no longer
It's
recognize.
a human face. The baby is in the mother's arms. There's no movement. The wife hugged the baby face down inside. But now, even a cry it can't be lifted either. There was an eerie silence over it all. Take the child out of your wife's hand. The master screamed like a madman. The baby is dead. Not only that, his chest was pierced through a hole in his heart. I don't know if she was killed. It's plucked out. Or its heart
Just to
is
know
plucked alive.
that the red
hole is empty. Her heart was plucked out. The scene is so terrifying. Make the shipmaster crazy. His hands are full of blood. The sharp forest knife earlier the ship is still in hand. The young wife hugging the plucked child. The
ship's master
lying
raised
in a
his hand
pool
to
of
his
blood.
head,
My
screaming
own
in
hands
despair.
killed my wife. Not only that, but the deaths of those 2 people were horrific. Hugged his wife's body and cried
Crying.
in his arms. The cry echoed through the mountains and
much
forests.
suffering.
The water flowed from the corners of the teacher's eyes. It's not
eyes.
tears anymore. It's 2 rows of bright red blood. Suddenly below the house came the sound of a crowd of people. He became a demon and killed his wife and children. Not only that, but he's got his
Then quickly
daughter's heart. People outside are talking about the ship. They are afraid that no one will come in. One of them was a man who broke in. He saw the ship holding the bodies of his 2 sons. The man shouted loudly. There it is. Oh my God. It's a man-eating demon. Everybody's watching. I saw the train master's face with 2 dripping
lines
down
of
my
blood.
cheeks. People are afraid to stand back, and no one dares to look. Beating the master with stones and sticks. The ship is afraid to crawl. The mouth doesn't stop talking. Not me. But no one stops. In front of them is a demon that kills his wife. The ship kills his children. The people chasing Theo continue to hold the stones. The train master ran to bleed on the soles of his feet. I still don't believe my own hand killed my wife. The ship's master dropped his face into the stream to drink water. The ship's master again screamed in horror. He heard the crew in the village say, he plucked his daughter's heart to eat. But the train master himself doesn't remember anything. Now I see my face in the water. The ship's all around my mouth is blood. The master ate his daughter's heart. He was only born a few months ago. Everything around me is falling apart. The darkness of horror. The horror surrounding the boat threw itself into the water. He wiped the blood from his face, hands and feet in a crazy way. Cry of steel in the depths of the forest. Even the wild birds. Flap your wings and fly away. From hearing the story, I suddenly shuddered. I looked at the teacher from asking, so you're the one who killed his wife and children. The master raised his eyes to the ceiling so that the tears don't flow down. He dropped a brain and lowered his voice. I've done worse than that. I can't stand being curious. Why did you do that? You obviously love them. The master looked at himself and said slowly, do you really think I'm the one who wants to kill my wife? That was my master's warning. When I was with him, set foot in the sacred forest of poisonous water. Why? Even though I know all kinds of charms about how to make medicine, my father never helped the indigenous people. You're just playing the drug dealer. I still don't understand, the ship continued. My master used to tell me in the mountains of Vietnam, there are always demons with malicious minds. It's like the Magi in China. Some people use their knowledge to save lives. There are also people who use that knowledge to control the sun. The devil sows fear for people. And then they punish, and everyone there will be terrified. There are two ways in the world to control. One is to treat people with compassion. Make them follow you. The second is to make them afraid to see you. And so they must obey the teachers. Charms can also be divided into two types. And we came to the copy where there's a second kind of witch doctor. I wonder why you know him. That witch put a spell on me. And how? The ship continued. After fleeing, the shipmaster thought back to the body of his wife and children. So he decided to go back until it's dusk. Master, follow the secret forest path. But when I come back, the whole house was burnt down. In the cry of your people. In front of the big fire is the shaman who was invited by the people to exorcise the master. In front of the people, raised two hands to the sky and shouted, "This house is of devils eating human hearts. To burn the house down. Bodies of those who live here. To avoid the consequences, killing the villagers." The people in the village kneeled down when he held out a spell or something in front of everyone. I don't see around change. The wind gradually blows makes hard. The fire burn even more. The ship's master was hiding in a tree. About a segment away. Swallow your tears inside. After hearing the bodies of his wife and daughter with the house. Too painful. But powerless to do anything about it. Compared to the evil shaman Kia, mastership is only in the form of disciple. At the house with your wife out in front of my eyes. The train master carried the resentment of the pain away. The little body worn back to China to find the Maiji. He was also my teacher in the past. 3 days without eating until we go back to the mountain. The hermit monk saw the master. On his hands is like a dry corpse. To call the door of the shaman's sleepy house. But I didn't have time to call the master. I only know when I woke up. The master found himself lying on a bamboo bed to the side. The master saw the shaman drinking tea at the waiting for the ship. Try to get up with a little bit of your own strength. Watching the prophet sob like a child. Master, I have created a career. The master put down his tea and watched the master shake softly.
Karma in this
If
life.
you don't pay it off, pay for
I
the
told
next
you
life. Everything from the beginning. Blame yourself first. Blame
The
yourself.
Holy Land has a devil.
Whether it's a demon or a god, when you walk in there,
We
have to know how to protect
ourselves.
Also, the fate that God has
There are
planned. Things God can't reveal. I want to help, but the decision is
And
up to
this
you.
result
is your own. You hurt me. You hurt my little soul. The train master watched him kneel down
We're
in
not
regret
listening
from the beginning.
The priest continued.
That local shaman is a master who hurts people. What he created just for the people there, increasingly falling into
And
fear.
then
he came to the rescue. They made him a god. You know the reason why. There's this body fire again. Even ourselves, when we set foot in
I
that land,
have to
respect him in some
I
way.
know
you have a kind nature.
I
want to help the people there.
But
that's bad for the people you love. The mole in Vietnam is more cruel than the
Many of
shamans.
us.
In Sao mountainous region, all
We
rare
have to go
products
there and buy it.
without picking it up. And
It's
walking
because we're
around.
not allowed to.
You just need something in your house, a hair, or even just seeing you. There is a magic spell waiting for you. The ship's master understood
Love wife,
everything.
love
the
child.
master wanted to die, but because the master said, "You are the one who killed my wife," but it's not. You are going to die for the souls of your two
Forever
sons.
not to be transcended.
You are going to let your daughter, after dying as a ghost, the heart also lost
hang
its
small.
and pay the debt you have caused. The soul of the one you love. New peace of mind where 9 streams.
The master looked at the priest in tears.
I
and
have to
asked,
do what I want you to teach me. The master was prepared to give the master a hand and say,
Your
spell on you. I solved it while you were unconscious. Maybe the witch doctor's goal has been
That's
achieved.
why he
called you back while we were
Also,
working. Very fast. Don't think about revenge, because you'll never be able to do that. Do you remember what I said when you refused to
Let's
return
go back there.
and go everywhere in the land
To do the
Vietnam
work
of consoling the souls of
Everywhere
the dead.
you set foot.
Do good at the door of the temple. That's how you help your wife. Because you know, there's even the poor girl's heart. Your poor is heavy.
But
I hope that luck will come.
That you
may wash the blood of your wife
It's
on
on
my
children.
hand. Get well and go. The teachings of the high priest.
It
made the master awake. Yes. Death is simple.
But the
sin in your heart will last
forever.
Even if the shipmaster turns into a
The
ghost.
master
watched the wizard walk out the door. He once again bowed to the master from behind.
From
asking the master. So that's why
SAO.
I chose the grave work. The poor help. The rich take the money and return the merit
life
at
is
the
too
temple
bitter.
door. He said, kneel down and bow down
The
to the
teacher's
master
past
of the
was
ark.
cruel.
The master smiled and stroked his silver beard and said, At least until the end
I
of
have
life.
a good disciple like you by my
For
side.
someone like me, that's enough. The rooster crowed outside the window, signaling that the sun
long
was
night.
shining. Nothing unusual has happened since then. But after tonight,
I find my
esteemed master
and
pitiful.
admirable through so many ups and
At
downs.
the end of his life, he was on
My
the road
career.
to paying off
The
his
full
debts.
moon
will arrive in 2 days.